Windows Driver Framework. Components of a PCI driver. EvtDevicePrepareHardware event. The DevicePrepareHardware event callback function performs any operations that are needed to make a device accessible to the driver. Here we have the syntax of the event callback. The event callback accepts 3 arguments. The first argument, which is a device handle. The second argument, resources raw, that represents a handle to a framework resource list object. The last argument, resources translated, that represents a handle to a framework resource list object as well. The callback should return an NT status value. To make use of this event, we need to perform these tasks. At first, we will declare the status variable. Secondly, we will declare the Fdo Data variable. We should ensure that the calling thread is running at an IRQL that is low enough to permit paging. Then we will obtain the Fdo Data instance. Then we will call our own implementation of the MapHWResources routine. Then we will check that the call to the MapHWResources routine was successful. Finally, we will return the status. Task number 1, declare the status variable. We need to declare the status variable. Task number 2, declare the Fdo Data variable. We need to declare the Fdo Data variable. We know that this variable is a pointer to the Fdo data structure. Task number 3, ensure that the calling thread is running at an IRQL that is low enough to permit paging. As I said before, the paged code macro performs this check. Task number 4, obtain the Fdo Data instance. To obtain the Fdo Data instance, the developer needs to use the Fdo getData function. This function accepts a device handle as an argument. I will discuss this function in the future. Task number 5, call our own implementation of the MapHWResources routine. This is the most important task in this event, because it allows us to map the hardware resources to software resources. The first point is that the MapHWResources routine should be implemented by the developer. The second point is that the mapping is based on the resources lists provided by the framework. We will discuss this routine in the future in more details. Task number 6, check that the call to the MapHWResources routine was successful. In this task, we simply use the NT status macro. Task number 7, return the status. Here we return the status value. Summary. To make use of the DevicePrepareHardware event, the developer needs to declare the status variable. Declare the Fdo Data variable. Ensure that the calling thread is running at an IRQL that is low enough to permit paging. Obtain the Fdo Data instance. Call his own implementation of the MapHWResources routine. Check that the call to the MapHWResources routine was successful. Finally, return the status. The DevicePrepareHardware event is important because it allows us to map the hardware resources to software resources.